You can receive a box of naloxone, also called Narcan, at no charge.
The kits contain 2 naloxone nasal cartridges, a set of gloves, and a mouth barrier for CPR. County officials say the kits will be targeted to reach communities most impacted by the crisis. They say racially and ethnically diverse areas see the highest rates of deaths.
I've talked to many people that have come upon unresponsive people in community, and having this life-saving medication has saved a life.
What's the demand been like so far?
So far, we have received around 857 requests in through the online form.
That level of demand is expected, and the program could expand in the future.
It's really important that we have all hands on deck to respond to this crisis. It's not only the responsibility of public health and our county agencies, but the responsibility of us as community members.
Jason Rantala, WCCO News.
If you live in Ramsey County and you are interested, you can find out more information on WCCO.com.
Today, Santa's helpers used big red trucks instead of a traditional sleigh to help deliver presents. A few weeks ago, we told you about the Be a Santa to a Senior program, where shoppers can pick up personalized gifts for older adults. Today, Minnetonka firefighters picked up those presents and delivered them to Home Instead senior care locations. Dressed in their holiday best, seniors couldn't hold back big smiles.
I've never seen anything like this. It's the first time it's ever happened, and it's a wonderful way to celebrate Christmas.
The Be a Santa to a Senior program will serve around 2,500 older adults this season. To see our full story that aired at 4, just head over to WCCO.com.
We're excited to do business with you, but before we sign, I gotta ask.
Sure, anything.
We searched you online, and maybe you can explain this?
Can't believe that garbage is still coming in. That is so false.
Frustrated with your online search results? Call Reputation Defender today to join tens of thousands who've improved their online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 1-877-866-8555.
Question: how do you keep up with the news that matters most to you? Getting it from just a few sources or the chaos of social media doesn't give you the complete picture. That's why Smart News is a game changer. Whether it's politics, entertainment, or local news, you get reporting from multiple perspectives. In fact, Smart News pulls articles from almost 500 publishing partners, so you can talk to anyone about anything, knowing you got all the facts. Download Smart News for free today.
Dear Polish, I found a new love, Impress Manicure. The no-glue mani. I can't stop thinking about my flawless Impress mani, a perfect fit for me. I love them. Love me.
Hair has always been pretty central to my identity.
Once I started taking Nutrafol, I could visibly see my hair get thicker.
It made my hair stronger, and the breakage is less.
At Nutrafol, we want to empower women to have the best hair they can have. Nutrafol is 100% drug-free and the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement.
Nutrafol has taken me back to the hair I was meant to have.
Start your hair growth journey at Nutrafol.com.
When the details take precedence and each piece is crafted with intention, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential, finding sophistication in simplicity. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
This for me?
If you like squeaky toys from Chewy, it is.
Did I get anything this year?
Get a free $30 e-gift card at Chewy.
I'm still gonna eat your socks.
No, you're not.
Get great deals on gifts that deliver excitement at Chewy.
Gift givers, listen up. One popular present carries an air of seriousness.
The FAA has a message for all new drone pilots so you don't get hit with a pricey fine this holiday season. Here's WCCO's Jonah Kaplan.
Just because they're not new doesn't make them any less popular. Hub Hobby in Richfield has them on a front display. We have a lot of parents that are looking to get something for their child. We have a lot of adults that are looking for just a fun toy.
Drones now come in all shapes and sizes. They're used for fun, for business. We even use them too. The technology keeps improving, and so does the price.
The prices have dropped. So originally something like this would have been a couple $100, maybe 10 years ago. And it's slowly but surely whittled down in price where you can get something with everything in the box included for around $50.
So they're affordable, accessible, and everywhere. The Federal Aviation Administration now estimates there are more drones in America than there are airplanes, all sharing the same airspace. The key reason, the FAA this month launching the 12 Days of Drones. Important reminders for what's required before your drone even takes off. Among them, a mandate that almost all recreational pilots must register their drone with the FAA and take the free recreational pilot test. Also, fly below 400 feet, stay away from airports, and keep your drone where you can see it.
I mean, is the fear that they would hit aircraft? We've seen what a bird can do to an airplane.
We, in the United States, we have the most complex and yet the safest airspace system in the world. And our job at the FAA is to keep it that way.
Not following the rules could mean some hefty fines, but there are local ordinances to think about too, like privacy and trespassing, which is why the folks back at Hub Hobby recommend maybe starting small, really small.
You learn to ride a bicycle before you jump onto a Harley. Same kind of thing.
Jonah Kaplan, WCCO News.
There are similar but separate rules and regulations for commercial drone pilots. That includes our own WCCO photojournalists who fly drones. They have all been trained and licensed.
A roadblock today for a popular Minnesota ski area looking to add more terrain. The U.S. Forest Service issued a final decision denying Lutsen Mountain's expansion plan. The ski hill wanted to expand onto nearly 500 acres of the Superior National Forest. Lutsen says that the project would have nearly doubled the terrain and included parking and skier services buildings. The Forest Service rejected the permit, pointing to the impact to tribal resources and the environment.
Well, scientists say a powerful solar flare temporarily knocked out radio communications on Earth yesterday.
We asked next weather meteorologist Adam Del Rosso to explain what happened and what other things we may see this weekend.
It's yet another impact from this active solar cycle. This time, a strong solar flare, along with what's called a radio burst, shooting a wave of energy and radiation right at planet Earth.
The strength we saw yesterday on those particular bands was almost 10,000 times the normal background that comes from the sun.
Sean Dahl with the Space Weather Prediction Center in Colorado says this is the largest flare since 2017 and possibly one of the largest ever recorded.
Any space weather event coming from the sun will not harm you as long as you're on the surface of our planet. There are industries that could be impacted, though, like our technologies, GPS accuracy, communication issues as we experienced during the event yesterday.
FAA facilities across the country reporting those issues Thursday afternoon. One employee saying they've never seen anything like it. Forecasters say this storm could also lead to the northern lights over the next several days, with even more solar storms to come.
Between now and all the way up through 2025, perhaps even into the initial part of 2026, we could still have pretty notable space weather activity going on if things continue.
Adam Del Rosso, WCCO News.
I'm meteorologist Mike Augustinak in the Next Weather Center, where we have some changeable weather here in the short term. And then we go over to pretty quiet weather. In fact, after this system moves out, despite the fact that there's snow in the forecast tonight in central Minnesota, we've got a mild forecast ahead, except for Monday. And we've got a dry forecast that follows on the heels of this storm as well, except for next Friday. I'll explain what those mean, but the bottom line is, despite the snow that will fall today and tonight across central Minnesota, for all of us, a brown Christmas is looking more likely than not, and that even includes those areas that get snow tonight. And again, that will be areas that will eventually include west central and parts of southwestern Minnesota, arcing up through the Alexandria, Brainerd Lakes, Duluth area. In the short term, that changeover is in progress. But as we go through the overnight tonight and a slug of deeper moisture and, frankly, steadier and heavier rain here in the Twin Cities moves in, that will also start to drag in some colder air at mid-levels. And that colder air will reach the moisture and start to see a little more of a significant changeover to wet snow by midnight and then certainly by tomorrow morning. Again, all holding north and west of the Twin Cities, but likely some wet snow by early tomorrow morning as close as, say, St. St. Cloud, maybe even areas like Elk River and Wilmer. Here in the downtown areas, the metro core and points east and south, temperatures a few degrees too warm. We wake up in the upper 30s, and that'll mean all rain. And then pretty quickly tomorrow in the mid-morning hours and late morning, that moisture moves out. The rain and snow shut down pretty quickly, and we end up with a dry afternoon. Temperatures above freezing no matter where you are, including in those snowy areas or the areas that receive snow, and a temperature probably near 40 for tomorrow afternoon's high. So how much snow to expect? Well, it's a little bit tricky only because the ground is so warm, and also the snow will be falling with temperatures that will be above freezing pretty much the entire time. So when I show you anywhere from a coating to maybe 2 inches of accumulation, I would plan for most of this to end up on the grass. Some of those unpaved roads in greater Minnesota, some of the secondary neighborhood roads could have some slush on them, but I think the main roads are more likely to stay mostly or completely wet, even through the overnight tonight. And then again, by tomorrow, that system moving out so quickly will allow temperatures to stay above freezing all day during the daylight, and that certainly will have an impact on helping to clear off any wet snow that does linger to some of those secondary roads. Sunday's going to be a similar day temperature-wise. We'll be slightly below freezing to the north from International Falls to Northome to Bemidji. And then here in central Minnesota and across west central Wisconsin, it's going to be another day that'll be 35 to 40, but with more wind in the afternoon, some wind gusts potentially up to 30 miles an hour, and more breaks of sunshine. Temperatures near 40 as well across southern Minnesota and down the Mississippi Valley from Winona down to La Crosse. Now, Monday will be the cold day, and this will be the only cold day of the next week plus. So in these neighborhoods across northern Minnesota, afternoon highs Monday only in the teens in Ely and Virginia, low 20s from Brainerd to Hackensack to Bemidji. Here in central and even southern Minnesota, you can see it'll be mid and upper 20s, which might sound cold, but the truth is that is average for this time of year. And as we go beyond Monday, the temperatures climb again. In fact, we'll be at least 10 degrees warmer coming up on Tuesday. With that warmer air moving in, there'll be increasing cloud cover through the day, giving us, I think, a pretty gray afternoon. Then Wednesday, more of a sun-cloud mix as we peak back into the low 40s. It'll be mid-40s for the first few days of winter. And that'll take us through the end of the work week. And again, the next storm system that comes in Friday will be rain showers, and even those will be pretty light and pretty limited. We'll keep the forecast updated here on the stream all evening, and then join us live starting at 10 here and on WCCO.
We all look forward to being home for the holidays, but for many of our soldiers, coming home can be difficult, and they find themselves living in or on the edge of homelessness. This holiday season, WCCO and the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans are working together to provide security and stability for our service members in need. Go to WCCO.com/holidays to find out how you can help.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away.
Sign and drive a Hyundai Palisade with 0 down, 0 first month's payment, and 0 security deposit. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Christmas is coming. The holiday shopping season. 'Tis the frustrating season of vanishing carts, blurry product images, and mobile unfriendly websites. This holiday shopping season, give your customers the shopping experience they deserve. Hire a freelancer from a variety of e-commerce services and get your business ready for business.
Dear Polish, I found someone better. Impress Manicure, the no-glue mani. And I'm kissing chipped nails goodbye. Hello, mani satisfaction. Way better than Polish. I've moved on to Impress. Love me.
Only 1 in 10 Americans consume adequate amounts of fruits and vegetables. We know you're doing everything you can, and it's so hard to get everything you need every day. AG1 is a simple and comprehensive solution to cover common nutrient gaps in the modern diet. 1 scoop a day delivers essential vitamins and minerals, a diverse range of nutrients from whole foods, and pre- and probiotics. This is foundational nutrition. This is AG1. Start your journey today.
Nice Oakleys, Stipe. Where'd you get them?
GovX.com. Man, I gotta get me one of those. Where'd you get it? GovX.com.
Hey, Stipe, nice boots. Where'd you get those?
GovX.com. Use it. Exclusive deals for first responders, military, and law enforcement only at GovX.com.
It's a new day, things are gonna change. It's a new day, things are gonna change.
Now on WCCO News, it's become a rare sight, but snow is falling tonight.
There won't be a ton to clean up. We'll tell you how much and when we'll do some melting.
A double delay to clear a Minneapolis camp.
It's easier for them to seek us out.
People living there say that tearing down the tents would cause more chaos.
A final design, but it's not a done deal.
We're not going to be able to make everybody happy.
The decision's still ahead in the search for Minnesota's new flag. Plus,
I set my mind to it and I was able to do it.
Overcoming obstacles to get back on the court. The inspiration inside her own home.
This is WCCO News, always streaming on CBS News Minnesota.
Well, our warm weather means we'll wait longer to see this. The Minneapolis Park Board says city rinks might not open until January. They need 7 to 10 days of below freezing temperatures to make ice. Duluth is in desperate need of snow for this decades-old tradition. The 40th annual John Bear Grease Dog Sled Marathon is scheduled for late January. Right now, organizers are doing what they can to get ready, but they may need to postpone the race. Just more proof that the weather is unpredictable. Keep checking in with WCCO to stay ahead of whatever comes next.
From more than 2,500 submissions to just one flag finalist, the commission in charge of choosing our new state flag has unfurled their favorite. With stripes and a star, this is the winning design, but it may not be its final form. Our Caroline Cummings is at the state capitol with what still has to happen before it's ready to fly.
What a ride it's been to get here. I've been covering this story since day one, and after many weeks and many hours of meetings of this commission, now they are on a cusp of choosing that new state flag to fly across Minnesota next spring. And here's an idea of what it will look like. There's a geometric shape that resembles the shape of the state of Minnesota. The North Star is represented, and there's blue for Minnesota's waters and green for its land. But as you can see, there are other variations in design at play here, and the commission ultimately decided to leave that final discussion until next week so the public can see these ideas too. The commission is coming up against a clock. They have to present to the legislature a report with the seal and flag design by January 1st. Confident, though, that they will wrap up all of their work by Tuesday in order for this flag and seal to debut on Statehood Day next May. In St. Paul, Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Well, if that new state seal isn't enough loon for you, check out what's about to land in St. Paul. That is a massive sculpture of Minnesota's state bird. It's nearly 33 feet tall and 88 feet wide, created by international artist Andy Scott. The loon will live near Allianz Field on the corner of Snelling and University. It's supposed to show up there this summer.
New tonight, the city has delayed clearing a controversial Minneapolis encampment for the second time in 2 weeks. It did not set a new date, but said the closure needs to happen to address ongoing public health and safety issues, including a fatal shooting in the encampment this week. Organizers at that camp in the Phillips neighborhood argue that closing it down will do more harm than good. For the first time, our Uba Ali spoke to someone who actually lives there.
I mean, life's rough, you know.
All Bentrell Housey is hoping for is a roof over his head.
Yes, I'm working on towards being in a home.
The 26-year-old has been moving from one homeless encampment to another for 2.5 years. He now calls Camp Nenekasi home.
The only reason I didn't find housing before is because there was no established camp and there was no housing workers coming there.
Organizer Kristen Crabtree says when camps get cleared, that can undo weeks of hard work.
And we've been able to make sure that services can come in so that people can connect with their outreach worker.
And David Andrews with Agate Street Outreach Team says evictions are a big step backwards.
As soon as evictions happen, we tend to lose people. They tend to lose items that are essential to getting them housed.
There's an estimated 180 people living here. So far, Crabtree says 74 people who had lived here found housing. 52 are scheduled to move into housing in the coming days, including housing.
And with this camp, it's easier for them to seek us out and easier for us to get help.
And despite the complaints from neighbors and nearly 90 recent police calls to the camp,
things are going to be imperfect because people are people.
Crabtree wants you to remember just that. These are people.
My greatest hope is just a normal life.
Uba Ali, WCCO News.
As for the deadly shooting at that camp, investigators now say it was self-defense. It happened inside a tent here on Tuesday. They say the person who died was actually the attacker. Because of that, the Hennepin County attorney said she would not charge the shooter with anything.
Some big headlines in Health Watch tonight. A third Minnesotan died from contaminated cantaloupe. 2 brands are under recall, Rudy and Malachita, for spreading salmonella. Mexican authorities closed a packaging plant connected to the outbreak today. Minnesota is getting hit the hardest in the United States with 3 out of the 4 deaths nationwide. We also have the highest number of infections. Also tonight, a Minnesota school had to quickly change course because so many staff members are out sick. Long Prairie Elementary switched to e-learning today because there weren't enough teachers for all the students. More than 20% of its staff is out with illness, and there are new details about lead poisoning from packets of applesauce. It may have been on purpose. That is what an FDA official told Political. 3 brands are under recall: Wanabana, Weiss, and Schnucks.
We now know it was an overdose that killed beloved television star Matthew Perry. The 54-year-old, most widely known for playing Chandler on Friends, died in late October. His assistant found him face down in his pool. Today, the medical examiner revealed Perry had high levels of ketamine in his blood. That is a drug that can cause hallucinations and creates a feeling of detachment from pain.
Minnesotans are working hard to rebuild a Christmas tradition.
It's a labor of love and it's a labor of respect, and it's just a wonderful thing.
Dozens of organizations signed up to place a wreath on every headstone at Fort Snelling National Cemetery. Unfortunately, there aren't enough this year because of lack of donations and coordination. Wreaths Across America has a campaign to help raise awareness and money, and you can find a link at WCCO.com.
And you can make the season brighter for our veterans as well. We are teaming up with the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans to help service members find a home for the holidays. Just a $40 gift will help a veteran with housing for a day. You can donate right now by texting MACV to 44321 or go online to WCCO.com/holidays. The Leonard J. Michelet Foundation will match all donations up to $100,000. Well, some Minnesotans are getting a glimpse of winter tonight.
Here's a live look at some snowflakes falling in Perham. They likely won't last long. Mike Augustinek has details in your full next weather forecast.
Then 2 unbeaten teams get after it with some effort. See who won the battle later on the rally.
That's a pretty tight spot.
Watch this.
Your Buick Park system. That's so you.
Of course you know where we're going. That's so you.
I got a 6th sense.
And a head-up display.
They're here.
At the heart of every Buick SUV is you.
Discover the joy this holiday season and get 1.9% APR. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $1,250 purchase allowance on 2023 Buick SUV models. Plus, no monthly payments for 90 days.
The meaning of Christmas is alive and well in the St. Croix Valley. Come experience Miracle at Big Rock for some good old-fashioned family fun. Explore more than 37 wooded acres featuring 17 million bright lights on a mile-long trail. Featuring food trucks, shopping, sledding, s'mores, cocktails, fireworks, and more. Book a VIP tent or private party today. You don't want to miss Miracle at Big Rock, where Christmas lives.
Welcome to MNsure, Minnesota's official health insurance marketplace. Going up? Compare health plans from multiple companies and get free help from a trusted expert. With MNsure, your health plan is guaranteed to cover essential benefits, so you can get the care you need. See if you qualify for discounts available only through MNsure. Don't overpay for coverage. If you need quality, comprehensive health insurance, you've come to the right place.
Hey, Emma.
We need a mattress, right?
Yeah?
I've been doing a little research.
Little?
The Sofa Classic has 2 layers of springs that contour to your body.
Nice, but...
It has a 3-inch Euro pillow top, Dan.
Oh,
and it's half the price of retail.
But I just wanted to know about dinner.
Look at this premium quality, and it's half the price of retail stores.
Max is here. Pre-game show, what time tomorrow?
11 a.m.
Here.
And, yep, right here at Central Time again. And, yeah, the game we play on East Coast time because they're in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yep. But here, 11 a.m.
Thank you for clearing that up for us.
Okay. I'd like to keep everybody clear, just in case you're streaming. It's an important road trip to Cincinnati. The Vikings are underdogs and will be underdogs again next week against Detroit, so you do the math on how important this one is. Now, the Bengals quarterback replacing the injured Joe Burrow looks familiar if you really know your Vikings history and trivia. Jake Browning started here, a distant backup to Kirk Cousins. Now that he's a starting quarterback for the Bengals, he's tasked with getting this team back to the postseason where they expect to be, and he's impressed at least the Vikings head coach.
I think Jake Browning and his comfort of, kind of being Joe's right-hand man, you're seeing their offense as if Joe was in there. And then maybe some things that Jake feels more comfortable with, but it still feels like an incredibly high-powered offense.
Again, the game is here, so we'll start with the pregame show at 11 a.m. Vikings Man of the Year Harrison Phillips sits down to talk football and the motivation of his nonprofit Playmakers in helping children with special needs deal with life.
And sometimes those are individuals that I work with, individuals with Down syndrome and autism, and somewhere, have special needs. And there's these negative perceptions of them out there because people don't want to get to know them and realize how amazing these individuals are, and they can be bullied and made fun of when, maybe they're fighting their hardest to try and fit in.
Coming off a big win in Dallas with Indiana in town tomorrow, the first place Timberwolves took some time with kids to shop today. Can you imagine walking into Target and running into Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns, all for a good cause and bringing some good cheer. Big rally show coming up, a lot of big matchups early in the season, and we've got them covered.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you.
And something to talk about in the weather.
Yeah, some rain, actually a lot of rain, and just a little bit of snow so far. I want to check in with the next weather watchers who are measuring snow for the first time in a long time, and we have gotten 1.5 inches. That's from Steve and Colleen in Alexandria, and Amy in Jacobson reporting about 3/4 inch. But all the other weather watcher reports are all at 0 so far for the snowfall. I want to show you how much more snow we'll add on top of what's fallen. And again, a lot of this will end up on the grass and just some slush on some of the secondary roads. By noon tomorrow, this is all done, and we're probably only adding on average about 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches of snow, including in St. Cloud, but nothing here in the Twin Cities. And I want to jump ahead even a bit further because I think some of you are maybe excited about this and its prospects for a white Christmas. Let me show you our snow depth forecast. We're going to start the forecast clock tomorrow and run this through the work week ahead. All these lightest blue areas, that's under 1 inch, so technically that would not count as a white Christmas. Stop the clock here at Friday, so a week from today, and then we go through the weekend into Christmas Day. And yes, that is the type of winter we're having where what little snow falls melts. And we probably will not have a white Christmas the way it looks right now. Surge of moisture has been moving up from from Iowa into Minnesota over the past few hours, but it's mostly rain. checking in central Minnesota, and you can see some snow on the radar and being reported in Duluth. But Brainerd, St. Cloud, Alexandria, either nothing going on or rain right now. So we'll keep an eye on this as we go through the next few hours, because I do think the snow will expand in coverage and intensity. This is 5 o'clock Saturday morning, still above freezing here, and still rain from the Twin Cities on south and eastward. As quickly as that slug of heavy moisture moved in this evening, it's all gone tomorrow. So by noon, again, we are done. And while we'll stay pretty cloudy tomorrow, I think we'll be warm enough to do some melting. So cleanup conditions tomorrow. This is specifically for St. Cloud. 8 o'clock in the morning, still a little bit of light snow, but you're not going to have any trouble getting that off the driveway because we'll be above freezing, and we'll shut the snow down and turn temperatures up to the 30s and near 40 by the afternoon. Here's a look at Sunday. It's going to be a very similar day in temperature, and that means 35 to 40 in many areas around St. Cloud, the Twin Cities, and in the low 40s across southern Minnesota. But it will turn windier, and also we'll have a little bit of sunshine. That'll be nice. Coldest day of perhaps the next 2 weeks is Monday, but that 27-degree high is normal for that day, and we warm back into the 40s, mid-40s, with the next storm in the forecast on Friday, just a rain shower.
Again.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
So a rainy Christmas.
A rainy Christmas. A green Christmas, yeah.
Okay, looking forward to your
We've
sports
got a
ride.
great show because we've got some of these matchups really played out well, and a pretty good story. One family deals with 2 monumental health issues with their children. A couple battle of unbeatens in basketball, and they lived up to the hype, and a couple traditional powers on the ice. Next on The Rally.
As a grandparent, I just love seeing my grandkids building KiwiCo crates. But we're not just building rockets and robots. These crates are helping them build their creativity and curiosity while building their love of science and art. And my favorite part, the memories we get to build together. Sign up for KiwiCo to gift monthly crates that build a lifelong love of learning. Get your first month free at trykiwico.com.
Hey, what's up? It's the People Shark here, Damon John. Now, I'm gonna give you a tip. This one is about how to create the wow factor in your home. And nearly everybody that comes to my home comments about how amazing it smells. My family and I, we feel like we live in a luxurious hotel every day. I mean, think about it. It's been over 2 years, and still the first thing anyone notices when they walk through the doors of our home is how amazing it smells.
When you think work, you think boots. You think boots, you think ending the day with the same number of toes you started with. Because you're thinking heavy equipment. You think heavy equipment, you think construction. You think construction, you think welding, torching, and hammering without the smashing, puncturing, and scorching. Now you're thinking on your feet. And when you think feet, you're thinking boots. You think boots, you're thinking Ariat.
Kettle and Fire makes the perfect bone broth. How? By using better bones, sourced from farmers who raise happy and healthy animals and avoid potent pesticides and harmful herbicides. We slow simmer at the perfect temperatures to maximize nutrients and flavor, enhancing each recipe with organic veggies, herbs, and spices for bone broths that are better for people and the planet. Kettle and Fire. Health is in our bones.
Finest cashmere stands alone. Unrivaled softness. Timeless appeal. Naturally, the best. Experience the difference. Fill your world with craft. Peter Millar.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the rally. There are all kinds of wonderful holiday traditions this time of year.
One is in Edina, where every year the same 4 high school teams get together to play hockey. Edina and Elk River, and Eden Prairie and Grand Rapids. They play the night, and Grand Rapids orange is eye-popping. So is their style. Go hard to the net. Sophomore Seth Carlson with a goal to get it going for the Thunderhawks. The Eagles answer, though. Johnny Kleiss is nice, and he's back and doing big things again for the Eagles. From in front, he converts, but Grand Rapids got the better of it, beating Eden Prairie 4-3.
Benilde St. Margaret's welcomed Bemidji to town. Not very friendly, though. Kendall Hassler from in front of the net. The Red Knights took control early and never really gave it back. They had several players contributing on this Friday night. We're going to show you Tala Hansen because we like this. Tala Hansen with the tally.
Yeah, nice writing.
Benilde was impressive, beating Bemidji 5-0 the final.
Boys basketball, unbeaten Richfield and unbeaten Fridley. Richfield features the state's top scorer, coming in averaging 43 points a game. C.J. Armstrong grabbing the headlines. He can shoot it and one there. They held him to just 30. But Fridley plays without fear. They expect to win, and they did. Trenton Woodall-Jones for 3. He scored 25. The Tigers win an up and down, an entertaining game, 83-74 over Richfield.
St. Anthony is off to a strong start in girls basketball. Teamwork is the key at Columbia Heights. Megan Prisbilla getting inside Greta Schumann for 2. This is called basketball karma. Watch this. Priscilla provides an assist, and then she kind of gets the helper there from Stella Tinnins on that turnover. St. Anthony's 4-1 after a 53-33 win over Columbia Heights. Providence Academy is looking for competition. Last year, the girls basketball team knocked off High Power 4A Hopkins during the regular season on their way to a state title.
Tonight, they went to Lakeville North, and it was as good as advertised. Ren Clayton takes us courtside.
Lakeville North alumni Rachel Banham was on hand to watch tonight's game. A reminder of how long the Panthers have been a powerhouse in girls basketball. But there are some new kids on the block. Providence Academy has been good for a couple years, and this might be their best yet. The Panthers came out red hot on their home court. Gabby Betton hits the 3. She had 16 tonight and is headed to Loyola next year. Lakeville North was up 10-0, but Providence Academy quickly came back. Ari Peterson is just an 8th grader. The floater there tied it at 25. The Panthers led by a narrow margin at halftime, but then it was Madden Greenway's time to take over. And one there with Dad Chad in the stands. Then off a steal, she pulls up and drills the 3. A whopping 40-point night for one of the best sophomores in America. It was Lakeville North's turn to trim a lead now. This basket from Trinity Wilson made it a 1-possession ball game. After Greenway missed the front of a 1-and-1, the Panthers had one more chance, but the shot, no good. Providence Academy wins it 78-75.
A lot of it was our team chemistry and how we can just challenge each other, and we know that we want each other. What we said in the locker room was like, be selfless, do it for your teammates.
It's learned that we can really come together, and when things started off down 10, and that's probably not ideal, but just to be able to fight through that, like, I'm so proud of us. It was so good.
Yeah, so what do you think it proves? Obviously going up against a big program like this, what do you think it proves for a smaller school?
I think it proves that, like, no matter how little varsity players we have, we can still play with each other. And a lot of people say, since we're a 2A school, like, oh, they play easy teams, but, like, you know what, they can't really say anything now, So Providence Academy firmly staking their claim as one of the best teams in the state of Minnesota, regardless of class. Another big game to watch before the year is out. Providence Academy will play Hopkins, which will be a rematch of last year when the Lions beat the Royals in another big statement win. In Lakeville, Ren Clayton, WCCO Sports.
This time of year, there are stories about families that tug at the heartstrings and bring us hope.
This is the story of Bryn and Zeke, 2 siblings who have seen much in their short lives and are leaning on family and attitude every day. To see this seems ordinary. Bryn is one of many playing basketball for a freshman team this winter. But this is actually extraordinary because this is Bryn this past summer. It started simple enough.
I was, shaving my leg, and it just became like I couldn't feel it on my leg.
Eventually, there was a diagnosis.
When I got an MRI done on my back, I found like little syrinx in my spine. They then, diagnosed me with Chiari malformation 1.
It required brain surgery and 90-some stitches in her head. But what it could not do was take away her love for basketball. And so came the process, from a wheelchair to a walker with a goal to play the game again.
I just did tons of PT in the hospital.
Then began the challenge of getting back. running outdoors, challenging herself, going to the basement to do anything she could to return to her playground with her team. And now you know why seeing her this winter in uniform means so much. To see a daughter with the ultimate rebound.
I'm just happy she's out here. I mean, 3 months ago compared to where she was then to now, I mean, it brings emotions, like of how hard she has worked in just this short time.
He raises her with his first wife, Shelley, who is now married to Isaac Roosevelt. All are amazed that she is here playing basketball. Yes, that game she loves, surrounded by the people that love her.
Absolutely amazing. I mean, leading up to the week of tryouts, we didn't even know if she would. That was the first week she came back to playing competitively.
Sitting with Shelley and Isaac is their own son, Zeke. And he changes everything in this story. Where's your sister? Zeke is 3 years old, and you might note in a wheelchair. Might be for life.
Was in the hospital for a couple months after being born, which was not what anyone really expects. You know, you expect to bring your kid home.
He was born with a rare gene mutation that has created an uncertain future. There is certainty, however, in the perspective he has provided his older sister.
He, realizing, what it felt to be in a wheelchair for just only, 2 weeks, and then he has to be like that for, almost probably the rest of his life. So it's, sad to think about.
What they won't do is sell Zeke short. His father was a basketball star at the University of St. Thomas and played 10 years professionally in Israel. He has provided metaphors for the two children.
Basketball's, it's a very similar situation where you don't know what to expect. You're kind of doing things on the fly and you've got to adjust.
But what this family refuses to do is feel sorry for itself. In fact, Mom sees these past 3 years as a blessing.
I haven't been happier in life, so it's...
So you don't feel sorry for yourself?
No, we're not at all the victim.
Maybe it's easier to believe when you can see a daughter just trying to use a walker, then a few months later can be playing in a competitive game. You do feel blessed.
It's her level of just dedication and work ethic for her. I'm just happy she's out here. 3 months ago compared to where she was then to now.
And when a younger brother can remind us that attitude trumps circumstance, you do feel it. The spirit of the human spirit.
Kind of makes you realize things can always be worse. It makes you be thankful for the small things. He might not ever walk again, but his personality is amazing and he makes us all laugh. And I wouldn't trade that for anything either.
Yeah, that is something. Just his smile is infectious watching on TV, isn't it?
Cute as can be. That's a lot of perspective for young people and a young family.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And they're getting through it because of attitude. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next week.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away.
Sign and drive a Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe with 0 down, 0 first month's payment, and 0 security deposit. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or just in time for the holidays, get $4,000 purchase cash on select 2023 Sierra models. Plus, current eligible GMC owners get an additional $2,500 purchase allowance. We are professional grade. GMC.
The meaning of Christmas is alive and well in the St. Croix Valley. Come experience Miracle at Big Rock for some good old-fashioned family fun. Explore more than 37 wooded acres featuring 17 million bright lights on a mile-long trail. Featuring food trucks, shopping, sledding, s'mores, cocktails, fireworks, and more. Book a VIP tent or private party today. You don't want to miss Miracle at Big Rock, where Christmas lives.
Welcome to MNsure, Minnesota's official health insurance marketplace. Going up? Compare health plans from multiple companies and get free help from a trusted expert. With Minsure, your health plan is guaranteed to cover essential benefits, so you can get the care you need. See if you qualify for discounts available only through Minsure. Don't overpay for coverage. If you need quality, comprehensive health insurance, you've come to the right place.
The seasons change, and we change with them. What we wear, what we eat, where we go. Something else that keeps changing is the virus that causes COVID-19. And so COVID-19 vaccines change too. Getting this season's updated COVID-19 shot is one of the best ways to help protect yourself against COVID-19. And these vaccines train your immune system to recognize and help fight recent variants. Learn more about a vaccine option and book at schedulecovidvax.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
It's a beautiful and humbling tradition. Wreaths are laid on the gravestones at national cemeteries across the country during Christmas. This year, though, not all grave sites at Fort Snelling will get one.
WCCO's Rich Chapman was there today to hear why and talk about a plan to change that.
Members of the Patriot Guard and Daughters of the American Revolution spend hours unloading wreaths at Fort Snelling National Cemetery.
It's a labor of love and it's a labor of respect, and it's just a wonderful thing.
They are amongst the dozens of volunteer organizations signed up to place a wreath on every headstone here at Fort Snelling.
To me, that every wreath that is here is wondrous and, you know, is a gift.
But this year that won't happen. A lack of donations and coordination hit this national cemetery hard. 6 weeks ago, Mark Peterson, founder of the People's Patriot Project, got word this event was in danger of not happening in Minnesota.
We had a affiliated podcast out in California reach out to us and said, you know, you realize that Wreaths Across America needs a coordinator in Minnesota. I'm like, I had no idea. And we reached out right away. It was something we knew needed to happen. And they were actually looking at canceling the event in Minnesota.
That news did not feel right for this veteran who served proudly with the Minnesota National Guard's Red Bull for 12 years. So he and his organization stepped up.
I told my board, I said, we're going to do as much as we can. They had 1,700 wreaths at that time.
Now there are more than 15,000 wreaths, short of the goal to place a wreath on the headstone of the 290,000 grave sites at Fort Snelling.
Some families have already placed wreaths at the final resting spot of their loved ones, but on Saturday, volunteers will place the wreaths they do have on the grave sites without them.
Volunteers hope to build, grow, and make this event better in the future. Until then, they will work with what they got to honor those laid to rest here at Fort Snelling National Cemetery. Reg Chapman, WCCO News.
Wreaths Across America does have a campaign to help raise awareness and money to make sure that no grave at Fort Snelling goes without a wreath this holiday season. You can find out more information by going to their website, and we'll have that at WCCO.com if you'd like to learn how you can help.
We're learning about potential risks from some lithium-ion batteries found in devices that could be on your Christmas gift list. U.S. officials have counted nearly 400 incidents this year involving lithium-ion batteries. That includes fires that are blamed for killing 49 people. Safety officials say that the message is clear. If lithium-ion batteries are improperly made or used, the results can be explosive. There are no mandatory federal safety standards for those lithium-ion batteries, but manufacturers and sellers can comply with voluntary industry standards.
What do you think when you see an e-bike or e-scooter?
I wouldn't want one in my home. I just wouldn't. I do think they can be manufactured safely eventually, but there's no guarantee of that right now, and I certainly, especially for a holiday gift or something for a child, I wouldn't even want this to be a 1% chance. And right now, it's far more than that.
Experts also say don't mix batteries and chargers. Don't charge batteries at extreme temperatures or for too long. Don't leave them charging unattended or near flammable items. And don't block your exit path with these devices. Also, keep in mind, you can't just throw lithium-ion batteries in the trash because they can catch fire. Local municipalities should have information on the best way to dispose of them.
Christmas is just a little more than a week away now, and if you're sending gifts, now is the time to ship them. Tomorrow's the cutoff for post office first-class mail to arrive on time. About 82 million packages a day will be shipped during the month. About 4 million per day pass through the UPS Mega Hub in Louisville, Kentucky. Shipping deadlines vary by company over the next week. For a closer look, just check out shipping on WCCO.com. Target is giving shoppers more time to find last-minute gifts. The Minneapolis-based retailer says more stores will be open from 7 a.m. to midnight through December 23rd. Most will be open till 8 p.m. on Christmas Eve. That's good for the procrastinators. All the stores, though, are going to be closed on Christmas Day.
The United States and Israel are discussing a timetable for scaling back the war against Hamas. Natalie Brand has details of the next steps and how long it could take.
During military operations in Gaza, the Israel Defense Forces says 3 hostages were mistakenly identified as a threat and killed during fighting. The identities released do not include Americans who remain unaccounted for. The development comes as U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan visits the region, talking to leaders about the next phase of the war.
This fight against Hamas, a deeply entrenched terrorist group in Gaza, is going to take time, and it's going to happen in phases.
2 U.S. officials say the Israelis told the United States that the current phase of their offensive against Hamas, which includes heavy airstrikes, could be complete in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
There will be a transition to another phase of this war, one that is focused in more precise ways on targeting the leadership and on intelligence-driven operations that continues to deal with the ongoing threat that Hamas poses.
The Israeli defense minister told Sullivan that particular phase of the war could be a long one, lasting more than several months. Sullivan also met Friday with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, who lost control of Gaza when Hamas took over in 2007. The two discussed Gaza's future post-war, which still remains unclear. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The U.S. says it is still committed to a 2-state solution with Palestinian rule, but Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he disagrees with his American allies about that issue.
In the next Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Mike Augustinak. Thanks for joining us. We've got a rainy night tonight, and that'll continue all night long here in the Twin Cities. Temperatures will be in the mid and upper 30s for overnight lows, and that means there will not be any travel concerns because the roads will stay wet and there won't be any snow falling here. Tomorrow morning, we'll wake up with a little bit of light rain. There might be some wet snowflakes mixed in as close as, say, Elk River and St. Cloud, but then pretty quickly by noon, that moisture moves out. Winds will be light to calm tomorrow. We'll have a high near 40 with mainly cloudy skies, but maybe some peaks of sunshine. Now, overnight tonight is when we'll see what has largely been rain so far in central Minnesota turn over to pure wet snow. But still, I don't think we're going to see a ton of accumulation. And in fact, 1 inch or more of snow is a pretty good bet in this blue-colored area, but not a certainty, and is only a high certainty out northwest of Sauk Center, headed up toward Detroit Lakes. And even that mostly will end up falling and accumulating, I think, on the grass, with a pretty good chance that a lot of the roads up here, at least the main roads, will stay wet even through the overnight. We'll break down what factors are contributing to that forecast and also look ahead to when we'll do some honest-to-goodness melting that could spell a brown Christmas. Next.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Sign and drive a Hyundai Tucson or Santa Fe with 0 down, 0 first month's payment, and 0 security deposit. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Perfect.
What did you get us?
With the click of a pen, you can get a new Volkswagen at the Sign Then Drive event. Hurry in to lease a new 2024 Atlas for 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing. Limited inventory available.
Christmas is coming. The holiday shopping season. 'Tis the frustrating season of vanishing carts. Blurry product images. And mobile unfriendly websites. This holiday shopping season, give your customers the shopping experience they deserve. Hire a freelancer from a variety of e-commerce services and get your business ready for business.
False or misleading search results can negatively impact your life. A bad online reputation can put you at significant risk of losing job opportunities or new customers. Reputation Defender helps clean up your search results, wiping away negative first impressions, allowing truthful, positive content to rise to the top. Don't you deserve to have more control over how you're represented online? Get your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 1-877-866-8555.
Question: how do you keep up with the news that matters most to you? Getting it from just a few sources or the chaos of social media doesn't give you the complete picture. That's why Smart News is a game changer. Whether it's politics, entertainment, or local news, you get reporting from multiple perspectives. In fact, Smart News pulls articles from almost 500 publishing partners, so you can talk to anyone about anything, knowing you got all the facts. Download Smart News for free today.
The hottest holiday nail trends are here thanks to Kiss, the #1 brand for ready-to-wear nails. Make a Manny statement this season. Visit kissusa.com today.
The future of downtown Minneapolis is a topic that continues to be debated among city leaders and organizations. The Minneapolis Foundation just released a report with its vision for what the city center should look like post-pandemic. Our Alan Henry spoke to the foundation CEO about the ideas and how one company is already making some changes.
It's a complicated but potentially exciting moment for downtown, and right now it needs more voices.
That's just one reason why the Minneapolis Foundation released a new report this week titled Downtown Next. The foundation, led by former Mayor R.T. Ryback.
There's great opportunity to take the buses off Nicollet, connect Nicollet to the river, make this a greener street, and more important, have downtown be a place that is more active 24 hours a day.
Ryback says downtown is mostly active as a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 environment in decline, thanks to remote work and vacant office space.
The downtown in Minneapolis pays a huge part of the tax burden for the city and for this whole county. So financially it matters to everybody in this region, but much more important, downtown is the one neighborhood that can welcome everyone in every day.
Target, downtown Minneapolis's largest employer, announced plans to have employees return to the office at least 1 week a quarter, saying in a statement, quote, on average, 35% of our Twin Cities-based team visits headquarters at least one time per week. We're being thoughtful about selecting the specific weeks well in advance, and we've communicated them early to help our remote and Flex for Your Day team members plan for the year ahead. Ryback says there's no going back to the way downtown was, so the community should start building its future now.
Downtown has been written off by people for decades, and every time it's come back with a reinvented better self. It's time to reinvent again in a more inclusive way that is more about a 24-hour multicultural place that everybody belongs.
Alan Henry, WCCO News.
If you'd like to read the full Downtown Next report, you can find that on WCCO.com. Here it is. Well, at least some version of this design will be Minnesota's new state flag. This afternoon, the commission chose that design, but there's still work to do.
Artists will make a few final tweaks before you can fly it on your porch or put it on a T-shirt. Caroline Cummings is at the state capitol in St. Paul with what happens next. Hi there, Caroline.
Hi there, Amelia. Well, what a ride it's been. I've been following the story since day one, and after many weeks and many
Sorry, WCCO. Hey, what's up, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, Taylor Swift, Camila Cabello, Avril Lavigne, Shakira, Christina Aguilera, Mila, Miley, Madison Beer, Jenna Ortega, Olivia Rodrigo, Emma Myers, Sabrina Carpenter, Jen Aguilar. What's up, guys? Good morning. Richard Witt signing off. Have all your pets spayed or neutered. Be kind to one another and ho 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 ho.